Influence of novel thoughts and deeds. A novel deed is one that does good to some person. It elevates the heart of the poor, of the doer, and fills him with joy, though he may have to make great sacrifices for the dead. We also call a deed noble. We also call a deed noble when the doer overcomes some strong temptation to do it. Once upon a time, a boy was passing along a railroad when he found the rails broken here and there. Just then, a train was coming at full speed. If it could not be stopped in time, the train would be derailed and the passengers killed or injured. The boy made up his mind to stop the train at any cost, and with this object in view, stood in the middle of the rail lines, stretching out his arms at the risk of his life. Fortunately, the driver saw him and stopped the train. It was a truly novel deed. Very novel, too, was the deed performed by an Italian peasant who rescued a helpless family from certain death at the risk of his life. During a flood of the river, the breeze of Verona was carried away, with the exception of the central arc on which stood a house. Its inhabitants gave themselves up for lost, thinking that they were past human help. Seeing this, a poor peasant boarded a boat and rescued the whole family, and he added to his novel deeds by refusing to accept the reward which was offered him. Another brilliant example of a noble deed is that of Miss Florence Nightingale, who went out to the Crimean War to nurse the sick and the one wounded. Like deeds, thoughts may be noble, for a deed is nothing but a thought translated into action. For instance, it is a novel thought thinking of rescuing a drowning man at the risk of one's own life. Novel thoughts and deeds produce surprise because they are out of the ordinary, and they produce gladness because the human mind has an innate sympathy with everything good and noble. Noble thoughts and deeds purify our hearts and elevate us to a higher moral atmosphere. If we habitually think nobly, noble thoughts become part of our nature, and performance of noble deeds by ourselves, or seeing them performed before our eyes, or even reading of them in books, makes us noble, and a time soon comes when we cannot but act nobly. Thus, noble thoughts and noble deeds influence us for the better and make us noble.